Hello, crafty friends! Lynn here from Studio Kato with another very exciting video. Now today is part of a new release blog hub or YouTube hub from Crafty Meraki, so make sure you check out the giveaway information as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the video, but let's get into it. Now, Crafty Meraki is releasing some hot foil products and some coordinating stencils from for previously released stamps. And I'm working with the You Inspire Me stamp set, which again is an older stamp set, but has a newly released coordinating stencil set. And it is so fun. This one is my favorite from the floral stencils. It's just so stunning, and it's a new to me stamp set as well, which is always exciting. I love that there are separate flowers in this one instead of a huge floral, which is always fun, but with this one you can just do a little bit more in my opinion. Now I am stamping these onto Clairefontaine DCP 250 GSM cardstock, which is perfect for ink blending, and I'm using Versafine Onyx black ink for that. I am stamping it a couple of times because with so many stamps on there, sometimes you just don't get the right pressure on the right part of the stamp. I am heat embossing these for a glossy outline. You know I love to do this, and I'm using WOW Clear Gloss Super Fine Embossing Powder for that. I will heat set that with my dual speed heat tool from WOW, and then we can move on to the very exciting stencil coloring. Now I love coloring, but I also love stenciling. I usually go to stencil my images if the coordinating stencil is available when I'm more excited about the card layout than I am about coloring in the images. Sometimes coloring in the images is just a lot of work and you want to get the card made. Sometimes you're just more excited about putting the card together. That's where stencils come in handy. Now, what I don't like about stencils is actually something that I'm going to fix in this video. I usually don't like, and you're going to see it here, when you have your lightest shade on and then you blend in the second layer, it's usually a big step up. And of course you can go in with a light hand, but if you're using a different shade of ink, it's always going to be a big step up between the first and the second layer in particular. And sometimes that look is perfect, but sometimes it's just not what you want. You want a little bit more of a subtle transition. To help with that, you go back to your first stencil. This is my first stencil again. You go back to your first ink color and you blend all over it again. It's one extra step in the process. I am adding a little bit of blue ink as well to make it more of a periwinkle shade, but that's beside the point. That's just to make the color a little bit more pretty. But when you blend another ink over it, over top of all of it, you're also going to fade. You're not just going to make the first color darker, you're also going to fade out or blend together the second and the first layer a little bit better. And that really helps with that one thing that I don't really love about stencils, which is that the shading always looks very obvious. Now for the leaves, I actually did the light hand thing and it worked pretty well. The colors are also closer together, so that helps as well. So I didn't bother to go in with the first layer stencil again. I'm going to the second layer now with a light shade and a light hand, and as you can see, the effect isn't that dramatic. I am going to, just at the bottom of the leaves, add a little bit more of a dark green as well. So if that's something that's been bothering you as well about stencils, you're not alone. It's been bothering me as well, but it's really easy to fix. Now here's what I did with the hot foil release. I didn't foil, well, at least not for this card. It was very hot here and I didn't want to work with a hot foil machine. I just wasn't feeling it. But I do love this Pagoni Mania hot foil die or hot foil plate. So I dry embossed it onto some white cardstock and I trimmed it down. It's a little bit smaller than a card base now. And I'm also tearing up the bottom for a fun edge. Now, dry embossing with a hot foil plate is very different than dry embossing with a die because the lines are usually a little bit thicker, so you get more of a textured look. I really love to dry emboss with hot foil plates. And yeah, the texture is just more pronounced, so it's perfect for dry embossing. I also love to ink blend over it because you make that texture come out a little bit more. It's always, white on white texture is always more noticeable in real life than it is on camera, so it's not that subtle on the white, but it's still more pronounced where I put some ink down. I back that with some foam tape, and then I can put it on a card base. I put it down a little bit crooked and didn't notice until I was taking pictures of it. But again, I do really like how this card turned out in the end, even if it is a little bit crooked. I am just playing around with my florals, and this is again the beauty of the stencils. Look how many pieces I made. With the coordinated guys, they were really easy to cut out. And you can just play around more if you have more floral pieces. So it's just so quick to make with the stencils, so quick to color. But I also really love the colors of that purple with the blue ink. It just looks so pretty with the periwinkle color. I love it. I'm very pleased with this card, if you couldn't tell yet. I'm adhering all of those down with some foam tape, and I also backed the sentiment, which is from the same You Inspire Me stem set. If the You Inspire Me sentiment didn't clue you in yet. I backed that with some foam tape as well, and then I'm finishing it off with some gems. I missed the... I put the product names in the video, and I missed what it's called, but these are pretty gems. I think they're Celeste Green. Yes, that's what they were called. And I adhered those with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, Crafty Meraki is releasing something, so of course there's going to be a giveaway. And because it's a hot foil release, even though I didn't do any foiling, you can win the Spellbinders Glimmer machine, which is amazing. What an amazing prize. All you have to do is follow me, follow Crafty Meraki, hop along with the YouTube hop, and leave comments on every step. Each comment is a chance to win the prize. So the more comments you leave on each video, the more chances you have at winning a Spellbinders Glimmer Hot foil machine. How awesome. I hope you like the card, I hope you like the video, and I hope you take your chance at the giveaway, because if you're not into foiling yet, you should be. It's really, really fun if it's not, 100 degrees outside. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you like my video, and I hope to see you next time.